This is the Sydney funnel web spider, which is easily the most dangerous spider here on planet Earth. If you get bitten by one, you have mere hours to get to the hospital before the condition can turn lethal. So obviously, I wanted to explore how it works and how the Australian government is saving people from it. There's only one place in the entire world where antivenom against Sydney funnel web is being made, and that is the Australian Reptile Park here in Australia. Here in the Venom Center, these spiders are milked and their venom is used to make life-saving antivenom. Oh, can I see it? Their main prey. So right there is the Atrax robustus Sydney funnel web. But why exactly is it called a funnel web spider? It's because these guys makes these funnel-shaped webs on the understory of forests. The spider then catches its prey, which are usually insects, by ambushing them from inside this burrow. The spider actually sets up trap lines around its burrow as to detect insects walking on it. So while all the other spiders create sticky webs, the funnel web spider doesn't create sticky webs because the function of its web is to detect insects. Once the spider ambushes the prey, it will use its front fangs to inject venom into it, killing it. But because insects are its main prey, the venom is actually evolved to attack insects. So then why is it so dangerous to us humans? Their venom is for insects, right? It's evolved for insects, their main prey.
So it affects invertebrates and also affects primates. So
Okay.
monkeys and then us as well,
Okay.
coincidentally. Yeah.
So it's like an evolutionary coincidence. Evolution that it's affected to us also.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the venom of the Sydney funnel web evolved here in Australia millions of years ago before humans arrived on this continent. So it seems to be an evolutionary coincidence that we are so affected by its venom. But luckily the thing is, other animals aren't affected by the venom. If your dog or if your cat gets bitten by the Sydney funnel web, it's not going to die. I mean, you still have to go take it to the veterinary hospital, but it's going to be okay. So the other news is there are some animals here in Australia, such as this blue-tongued skunk, that can eat Sydney funnel webs. So the thing is, if you do get bitten by one of these, what's the fastest you could die?
Yeah, so there are currently 2 records held by Sydney funnelwebs. They are one of the most venomous species we have on the entire planet. For an adult, the record that is currently held is 76 minutes. So 1 hour, 16 minutes from time of bite until lights out. That's incredibly quick. That is literally the record.
Okay.
And there is a second record, which is for infants and toddlers. It varies between the both because obviously the larger you are, obviously as an adult, you have a lot more like blood in your system. You have a lot more like room for that venom to pump around before it actually affects you. Whereas for children, obviously being a lot smaller, it affects them a lot quicker. That record for an infant is 13 minutes.
Okay.
So very fast acting. That is without proper first aid as well.
Okay. When you get bitten, your symptoms are going to be nausea, lightheadedness, headache, vomiting, and in some cases, excess salivation. All of these effects are due to its effect on our nervous system. The venom is actually a neurotoxin, which means it interferes with how our nerves communicate with each other. Our nerves communicate with each other through chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Now, these neurotransmitters are released when the concentration of the sodium ions inside the nerve cells increases. So there's a molecule in the venom which binds to these channels and provides a way for these sodium ions to get into the cell. So the sodium ions get into the cell and the nerve cell starts to release these neurotransmitters every now and then. So the nerves will start to fire rapidly without any order, and that will release hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline, which is going to increase your blood pressure, increase the way your heart is going to beat, and all of this will eventually lead into death. If you do get bitten, it's going to hurt quite a lot, and that's because the fangs are over a centimeter long. That's bigger than some snake fangs. So when you get bitten, the first thing you have to do is to put a tourniquet over the entire area. And that's because the venom actually spreads through your lymphatic vessels, not your blood vessels. So after you put a tourniquet, you have to rush to the hospital where the doctors are going to take a swab test of the bitten area to confirm it really is a Sydney funnel web bite. After it is confirmed, you're going to be put under constant medical supervision and you're going to be given antivenom or if you have an allergic reaction, you're going to be put under EpiPens or adrenaline or antihistamines or medicines of that sort. One of the most common places where you would find Sydney funnel webs is inside your shoe. That's why you are supposed to bang your shoes before putting them on when you are in Australia. So another place where people commonly find Sydney funnel webs is near the swimming pool, and they can actually be found inside the swimming pools also, and that's because these Sydney funnel webs can survive about 24 hours underwater. They do that by trapping tiny air bubbles with their hairs on their back. Alright, so enough about the venom. How exactly is the antivenom for Sydney funnel web produced? To make antivenom, you need the venom, and the first step to get that is to make the spider really angry. So what you see here is actually the defensive position of the spider, with its fang reared up and exposed. The venom will appear as tiny droplets on the tip of these fangs. So we'll basically use a pipette like this to suck the venom out of them. After that, the venom will be weighed and then dried in these machines. Doing this removes the water, and that helps in storing them for long periods of time. Is this like one of the ones that are being milked for venom?
So this girl is a female specifically.
Okay,
So
okay.
here at the park we only milk males. Reason being males are 7 times more toxic than females. So
Okay.
if we milk females, we have to milk a whole lot more of them to get the same amount
Okay.
of venom or the same yield. Whereas for our males, we only have to milk a tiny amount to actually receive the same amount of venom we get from this girl.
So like, is there a reason why only males produce venom? Is it something for like defense or competition with other males?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's because your males actually have a very short lifespan as well. Reason being, females exist to
Yeah,
lay
lay more
eggs
eggs, yeah.
and have like babies and all the rest of it. But males are wanderers. So during mating
Okay.
season, males actually come out and they'll walk really, really long distances to be able to
Okay.
find females.
So males leave the burrow and wander around and live for around 4 years, while the females stay inside the burrows for most of the time and live for around 20 to 25 years. Believe it or not, this facility is home to nearly 5,000 Sydney funnel web spiders. Most of them are milked for venom every single week. But even that isn't enough. Each spider produces only a tiny amount of venom, and it takes venom from many spiders to make a relatively small amount of life-saving antivenom. In extreme cases, you need as high as 2,000 milkings to save one life. That's why the Australian Reptile Park asks people around Sydney to safely donate any Sydney funnel web spiders they find. These donated spiders help provide the venom needed to produce antivenom, an effort that has saved countless lives. The Venom program here is federal funded, which means that no matter who you are, if you do get bitten by a spider here in Australia, you will get antivenom for free. And this program has been running since 1981. And since then, in these 45 years, not a single casualty has been reported, even though more than 20 people get bitten by these spiders annually. And that's extremely interesting. So thanks to the Australian Reptile Park and NK for helping me make this video. So when I asked her what her favorite part about the job was, this was her reply.
My favorite part of the whole job.
Yeah.
It's probably, look, I do a lot of cool things. I work in our Venom program as well, so I don't only do spiders, I milk venomous snakes as well. So I have a lot of
Okay.
cool things. I feed crocodiles and alligators, lots of stuff. But my favorite is probably working with our Komodo dragons.
Okay.
Incredibly intelligent animals, also venomous,
Okay.
but very intelligent and very, very cool to work with.
Okay. All of the animals that she listed was dangerous, which makes me think that when you replace your fear for these animals with understanding for these animals, you will actually get more safe from them. Thanks for watching.